the Kickstarter for SWAT Cats. Congratulations, pal. That is so freaking bonkers.
Was it a new record for a comic book on Kickstarter?
Yeah, as far as I know, it is the highest grossing single issue Kickstarter.
How did that come about, man? I know I've...
Well, I posted a couple of times on my social media about that, and that it exploded.
This is the Inkpulp podcast.
Come on, Eric. Do something. Save us. We're going down. We're already going down.
Cool. Cool.
Here's the Christmas spirit in me that happens every year.
Uh-oh, watch out.
Every time we have an episode, I wish upon Jolly Saint Nick that you idiots do something better. And it never fucking happens. It all goes downhill. And depending on the guest too, I'm like, oh, please do something different. And it's Shawn, and Matteo singing some fucking song.
Yeah.
All right, listen, welcome to Inkpulp Podcast. It is episode 2075. Thank you for being here for near half a century. Doesn't really matter. Nobody's paying attention. But for those that we are paying to pay attention, thank you for being here. Our guest, our esteemed colleague, I hope.
Thank you.
The colleague or
Thank
the
you.
steam?
Let me think about that. Let me take an hour. I'll be back.
Let me take an hour. That was good.
Let me. How do you pronounce your name? How do you pronounce your last name, Jorge?
Corona, just like the pandemic.
There it is.
Yeah.
Let's not
I thought you were
associate.
just like the cerveza.
We're gonna get demonetized so freaking quickly.
Immediately,
Jorge, thank you for being here, man. Thank you for joining us. You knew what you were walking into, so this is as much your fault as it is ours. The last time we saw each other was Lightbox Expo. No.
Yep.
You were set up, and you were like, "Hey, old man, you forgot. You asked me to come on to the show," and I was like, "Right."
Listen, I completely, backstab you there. I think we were just walking past, and I was like, by the way, and I was like, cool. Okay,
No.
cool.
I suspect it's because you're busy with two very successful projects, right? One is the Kickstarter for SWAT Cats. Congratulations, pal. That is so freaking bonkers.
Congrats,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you so much.
Was it a new record for a comic book on Kickstarter?
So,
Like a single issue?
yeah, as far as I know, it is the highest grossing single issue Kickstarter. Obviously, like graphic novels and stuff like that have done more, but for a single issue, it is.
How did that come about, man? I know I've watched that cartoon since forever. I don't remember if I worked on the original
posted a couple of
cartoon.
times on my social media about that, and that it exploded.
Yeah. Is that what you keep sending me, like a
Yeah,
bill
it
on
had
PayPal?
3 backers.
Okay, okay.
It had 3 backers, and then a couple of shout outs.
I was wondering why it kept popping up. It's like Matteo is requesting. Okay, cool.
I spoke to a couple of people.
He keeps
and all of a sudden
invoicing
from
you.
$25. It went to.
Yeah, he keeps
17
invoicing
million.
you, and he just keeps leaving the total blank. Like, hey, pay what you want for my amazing services. What's the returns you think? There's a minimum tip, and then on top of whatever else he makes, and then you have another project that's already been ongoing, right?
So no, that one is coming up, and that's the Lobo book
Dude,
with
that's so
Scotty
crazy.
For DC. That one's coming up next
Oh,
year.
Scott is writing it.
Yeah.
For those who have never heard of him, his name is Scotty
shit.
Young. I don't know.
Yeah,
He's an
that's-
up-and-comer.
yeah.
He's done one or two
I think
things
he
that
has
have...
a future. Yeah. I think he's doing pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
We might.
seems like
we
a bunch
might
of
wanna
bucket
have
list
him
stuff, dude.
on the show sooner
Yeah,
or later.
yeah.
It's a little too
Well,
soon, but
It's not. Yeah. Well, we'll see what his follower count is, and then maybe we'll invite him on.
Okay, cool.
Dude, it feels like there's a bunch of bucket list stuff that you're just crossing off left and right.
Pretty much. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I mean,
Jorge.
what do you call? I'm seeing Transformers, right? Lobo,
Yep.
and now the SWAT
being
Cats
on
thing.
the Inkpulp podcast now, another dream of yours has just happened.
It's like a hit list.
Tell me how this came about, man. You're just chain comboing from one amazing project to the other, dude. How's that?
So,
Yeah, I want to.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No.
I was just going to say your career is just such a amazing path you've been on, and it just keeps getting better. So I'd like to hear about it and hear about what maybe you did that, like, did you strategize that?
No, I just said yes to way too many things, and then eventually something worked out. Yeah.
See, most people say that's the wrong way to go about it, but it works.
In Italy, we call it the law of big numbers. You just try to grab whatever you can, and one of them should be good.
Something has to hit. Yeah.
So what was the turning point for you, though, man? Like, there's got to have been, like, you were obviously just on your grind, and then at some point there was something, and that just started the ball rolling, right? Can you recollect?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Honestly, it was Middle West. It was Middle West with Scotty. That was the book that I think got me from just kind of like doing. I was having a blast. I was doing good books, but that Middle West technically, I feel, is when people started recognizing my name more than just the book that I was on, and I think people started looking more for my work specifically. So yeah, definitely Middle West was that book, and it was that in many different ways. Not only because, again, like, obviously working with Scotty was more than established by that point, and he had I Hate Fairyland, he had Bully Wars, he had all his Marvel stuff. So obviously I knew that was going to have some exposure attached to it, but it was also really cool working with him, because when we had some time to develop what Middle West was, at least visually, what it was going to be, he already had a few scripts written by the time that he contacted me, and it was cool just to have Scotty as a kind of like a bouncing, bouncing ideas off of him, and how to approach the work. So it also was a switch for me in the way I was inking. It's probably the book that I've had the easiest time drawing, because it was it was all my kind of like, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like some other books I'm trying to adjust to what I think the book needs to be, whether it's superheroes, whether it's horror, whether it's whatever, but Middle West for sure was the book that was more what I would do naturally, in that sense, in the theme, in the scenery and all that. So I was already coming in with that. I was already coming in with a style that I didn't have to force myself into adapting almost. And I figured a lot of things out during that project. And yeah, it was the project that I always enjoyed inking, but I think it was the project that I really realize how I wanted to ink and make it fun for myself. Yeah.
Let me go back to something that you said earlier, which is like, this is the first time you'd ever felt like you were just, I'm putting words in your mouth, obviously, but this is the first time you'd ever feel as free as you were, just kind of like you weren't thinking about the project that could help. You weren't thinking about the art as it serves a project. You were just like, I'll do this feels good, whatever feels good to me.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that it was just the first time, but I feel like it was the time that I felt more kind of like I could do whatever I wanted without necessarily having to respond to something else. And it was even a conversation at the beginning, because obviously, again, that was the first time working with Scotty, and I remember sending him some character designs, and I was like, I was almost aping his style at the beginning, and he was like, no, man, like do you, like let's do this thing.
Oh, interesting.
So again, that was the really cool thing, and obviously we became friends, and we've worked together a bunch of times, and I mean, we're still working together. So it was a really cool thing to have that experience of just going, a little bit, because again, it was the first time working with someone who had been in the industry for that long, in that much of a personal relationship, because obviously it was a very personal story for him as well. So we were talking constantly about what the book was going to be, what the book was going to look like. So it was really cool to have kind of like that back and forward and that and establishing that relationship with someone that, you know, I was following even before that as an artist. So yeah.
That's so cool, man. Did you know that Matteo and Scotty are at odds with each other as far as the popularity contest is concerned?
Oh, yeah?
Like Matteo genuinely believes he should be, or that he is more popular than Scotty.
Okay.
Did you know that?
No,
so
I didn't.
The idea that you were here.
Am I endorsing anything by being here right now?
No, you're great. You're my guest, and when Shawn comes back, he's also your guest. But right now, Matteo is on edge, man. He's like, quit bringing his name up.
I see. This is the wrong guest,
Scotty, and it's done. Fuck you, Scotty.
We freaking love that guy.
Everybody out there, make sure you hit like, subscribe, comment, and share this show on all social media platforms. Join our Discord, and make sure you're checking out all the cool Inkpulp shows on the Inkpulp channel.
Hey guys, I have a few announcements to make. First of all, if you haven't done it yet, please sign up on the Kickstarter campaign for my brand new creator-owned book, The Fourth Father. All you have to do is follow the link in the description and click on the Notify Me button. If you want to know what it's about, you can read issue number 0 for free. Just visit matteoscalera.com, subscribe to my newsletter, and you'll receive a link to the first 20 pages. Also, Nemesis Forever issue number 5 hits the store January 7th. It's the big finale to the whole Nemesis saga, so you cannot miss it. Great story by Mark Miller, art by me, and colors by the amazing Giovanna Nero. Go and grab yourself a copy. And last but not least, if you're interested in buying some original art, the holiday sales are still active on essentialsequential.com. Just visit my page on the website, pick the stuff you like, and use code BFCM20, all capitals, at checkout to receive a 20% discount.
Guys, what's up? January is the final month of the Arachnid Enforcer Kickstarter, greatest one-shot comic coming at you. We're going to end it at the end of January. Hit the link below or above or on my social media, and I thank you for your support.
Hey, everybody. We are launching session number 2 of Graphic Novel Pro, me and Jake Parker. If you want to learn how to do comics in our intensive 10-week course, click the link below and register. We start classes at the end of January. Also, head to inkpulp.tv and subscribe to my newsletter.
For original art or to set up a commission, visit essentialsequential.com. Order my creator-owned series, Arc Athena, via iconicomics.com. To join my newsletter, go to my website, ericcanete.com, and follow me on all of my social media. Really easy to find, at Eric Canete. Back to the show. And Maddie, can I ask you something similar, right? When there was a turning point for you projects-wise too, right? Same as Jorge, right? He's saying that he started clocking it with Middle West, right? Yeah. When was it for you? Was there something that you recognized? Because you went through effectively the similar path, right? It was a climb, and then suddenly, boom, you're the guy, right? And as you said, more popular than Scotty Young. I remember you specifically saying, "Hey, I'm more popular than Scotty Young."
That's the
now.
first thing for me. So that's anything else doesn't matter. The important thing is that
somewhere is my stupid fresh mask cap. I think I need to wear it just in case I'm going to be legally on the hook for something else.
So, Eric, before I answer to that, like what you mean in terms of popularity, in terms of inside something inner that happened, like
there must have been.
Point.
I mean, for everybody here, actually, or I kind of answered it, right? I want to say that you answered it was like sometime in Middle West, you started being associated as an artist as opposed to the project. I think that's how you phrased it. Was there something similar for you, Matt?
I would say so. I think it happened as I was working on Black Science when I realized, I have a different recognition now. Yeah. Probably Black Science gave me that status of, since it was continuing and it was like 25, 30 issues. Yeah. So that gives you a sort of, it legitimates you. Yeah. Being in the industry at this point. You guys, because not only you're doing so many issues, people talk about that series when you go to shows, people have a pile of your books finally, instead of just one issue you did here, the other issue you did there. And also you're working with a worldwide renowned writer, not with your friend and you grew up together. It's a professional that could work with basically anyone in the industry, and he's chosen you to work with him. So that for sure gives your general perception definitely a boost.
Do you think, by way of work, Jorge, this speaks to something that you said earlier, is it because you kind of got unlocked by not being tethered to a pre-existing IP? Same with you, Maddie. Right? Like, do you think because you're like, I no longer have to worry about the backlog and the history and the library of this stuff, right? I can just pretty much, there's no longer that weight on my shoulders to like, not necessarily perform, but to at least consider, hey, this thing has been drawn by this 1, 2, 3 artists, and now I've got to have my take on it. Do you think that was part of the formula of just your overall sort of like confidence growth, and that shows up on the page so people are attracted to it?
Are you still asking me? Or
both of you guys. Anybody, anybody who's involved, assuming Sean's microphone is working now, because he looks crestfallen. He looks so sad right now, dude. Are you okay, Shawn?
I'm good.
We're checking in.
Yeah. I'm good. I'm totally good.
All right.
I mean, again, Matt and Liz, but I think so. Not fully. I think it was two things at the same time. It was that specific project, and it was also the DMN. By that point, I had been working in comics for about, I want to say maybe 5 years. So I had already done books that I mean, technically, I had already done a book that I was writing and drawing myself. So it's not, there's no less pressure to be yourself than in that book. But that was very early on, and I was still figuring out what I need, like what I was bringing, to books and stuff like that. And I think it got me at a time when I was also using almost every project to experiment a little bit in terms of switching stuff around just to find my own voice. I think it was a combination of the two. So I wouldn't say that it was awesome. Just because it was a new IP, there's no reference. It was also that I had tried out a couple other things before that. I think everything clicked with that specific project.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so for clarity's sake, and for also Matteo's ego, it wasn't because Scotty Young made you popular, right? It's because you came up on your own. Matteo just needs to know. I don't think it has anything to do, very little to do.
I think it's because we tried to make everyone cry with that book, and I think that really connects with people. Yeah, so
that's a very amazing pivot and political answer. I love it.
I had to pull that one.
It's smooth, dude. Good. Oh my gosh, politics is in your future.
Yeah. Thank you.
Shawn, you're back. I feel really bad that I could tell that you're like ramping down from a high level of aggravation.
I can make people cry too, all right?
But then,
and back to the competition.
I can make people cry. Fourth Father is so going to make people cry now. And then he writes stuff on the side like make people cry.
Whenever
later when my son comes back home, I'll call him here and I'll see you. I'll show you.
No, that's different. That's different. How you make your kid cry. Just because he's crying, it doesn't mean he's crying for the same reason. It's not the same. I promise you.
On fire today.
Shawn, you were saying something?
I was just saying, whenever Matteo and I get around Jorge, there's like this competition that comes up. Like in Abu Dhabi, it was inking tools. Me and Jorge were at each other's throat with
I don't know what the hell it's.
I don't know. I think you just bring out. No. You just bring out the best in people, man. They see that you're succeeding.
I think you were at each other's throat, Shawn. I think you were just busting his balls. He wasn't doing anything. He was fine.
I was busting his balls. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And what were you busting his balls about? What were you busting his balls about?
not using
With brushes.
Not using brushes?
I don't even remember how it started. I don't even remember how it started.
No, I suspect that's it. You saw him not using a brush and you were like,
Yeah, that's basically it.
you redlined right away. You're like, how, we're in Abu Dhabi. You should be using a brush. The land of brushes or some stupid shit like that. You guys have known each other for a little bit, no? Like in the circle of these conventions, but also elsewhere. Is that right?
Yeah, Jorge was a student in Savannah at SCAD when I was running the department up in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And we had Scotty as a guest one year, and Jorge drove up with a car full of classmates. I mean, they had the fire in them. That's when Jorge met Scotty.
That was worth it, but it was definitely a mistake. We drove back after that same night, and it was like a storm.
After the bar. After the bar.
Yeah. I didn't want to say it because I think that, again. But we were driving back. It was like a group of friends from Savannah. It was two different cars. I was in a pickup truck with my friend Dave. And as soon as the rain started on the drive back to Savannah, the windshield wiper flew off on the driver's side, so it was only me being able to see through the rain at 4 a.m. as we were driving back, and his radio was busted. And so I was just screaming songs at him just to keep him awake. And there were a couple times where I was like, ugh, I just woke up and then I looked to the side and he's also asleep. So I don't know. It was a really Jesus take the wheel kind of moment. But we made it.
It could be argued then, it's God meant for you to be this level of successful. The Lord said this guy shall not die.
What was the thing that I learned? It's like quantum immortality, something like that. That basically this is a weird thing, but I just heard about this term and I love it. And it's basically like we keep dying and we're just in the timeline where we haven't died. That was definitely one of the times that I had died in a different universe, and I just continue. Yeah.
I mean, full disclosure, I keep dying every minute that I'm on this podcast.
No, I can pinpoint so many times that I was like, that was a copy of me that.
Maddie's
Matteo,
dead now.
I got it.
Maddie just passed out.
So we're
now.
this timeline now. Okay, cool. So does that mean I win? Am I the better one now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Matteo,
Put it on the
Jorge won.
gravestone.
Jamie, can you please put some kind of darkening around Matteo's fucking office? We've also been making side bets just to see whether or not a podcast with us sleeping would do as good numbers as us talking. So I think Maddie is
better numbers.
R&Ding the heck out of it.
Cool.
Shawn,
Mateo's committed.
Yeah.
I think his narcolepsy just kicked in. He was like, I don't even remember how to wake up. You've had multiple students working with you, right? Who have come up, done the thing, and have become widely successful. Yeah. What's that feel like to be down in the dumps with us? Just like shoveling fucking coal when everybody else is on cloud nine successful. What is that like?
Are you asking me or are you asking Jorge what it's like to be successful?
No. Hey, listen, it's hard to look up at Jorge because the beam of light coming from the sun and his godly interference is hurting my eyes. But for us down here in the shitter, explain work through your issues with me.
I mean, I'm with you, man. I'm with you 100%.
I'm shoveling poop. This episode is completely off the rails. Okay, so here you are.
Matteo died. I mean, what do you expect?
The first episode. Shut the fuck up because
Matteo
I don't
died.
know anything that I can say.
The thing is, I don't want to get you into trouble. Here's potentially what's going to happen. Right?
Oh no.
This show is so toxic. There are people who want to avoid this place.
So this might be the second turning point of my career. It was Middle West for the better, and then Inkpulp
it's going to
for
go
the
on the
worse.
I say,
now
what
it's just
are you
a
doing
plummet,
here?
a dive.
You know,
Cool.
what do you, like? I ask our guests all the time, what do you do? There's guests who are such of a high caliber, we can't do anything to like sully their reputation. For instance, the 2 episodes ago, I think it was, if my memory is failing me correctly, Walt Simonson was here and he lit up the place. It was amazing.
Cool.
And then we thought we are doing so. It felt so good. We felt like we are in like amazing company. And then the end of the episode rolls around and it dawns on me, Matteo's got to say that fucking annoying bye-bye. He's got to like screech. And keep in mind, this is like Thor and Ragnarok and X Factor and Fantastic Four. He's not, that's just let's just listing off
Star
some of his
Slammers,
accolades in the comic book industry, not including every illustration he's ever done. And when you see the counter, you see our timer coming down.
Yeah.
And I see the timer. And I'm like, oh crap. And I look at Matteo and I know he sees the timer. And the look of embarrassment that is like bathing over him because he knows he can't not do it. I was like, oh man, this is almost worth it just to see him struggle through the idea.
And Eric tried to sidestep it. Like he really tried to be like, okay, that was great. Thanks, Walter. I was like, wait a minute.
If this was a guy if Matteo was running after me, I was throwing chairs and tables in front of him just to trip him up. But Shawn was like, no, let's embarrass him hard, and make him say.
I think I apologized in advance like 5 times before doing it.
He still didn't know what it was going to. It is to say that you're not receiving any of that grace. You're going to get that crap at the end of the thing. So I want to tell you now.
No, I know my place.
Yes. No. Here's the thing. Like I have such high hopes for you, right? Between this, we're going to talk about. Are you able to talk about Lobo next in the most general sense, or are you sort of can't talk about? Okay, we talked about you talked about the competition between Scotty and Matteo and the fact that you chose Scotty instead of Matteo. But you're such in a great trajectory. You're such in a good place. I want to give you I'm literally throwing you a metaphorical parachute. You can jump.
Everything was going great.
Anytime.
Thank you.
I'm just kidding, pal. All right, so let's talk about Lobo. Has this been in the works for a while? No. Yes?
No. We started this whole year has been a conversation about it for sure, but officially it was a little bit before New York Comic Con when we kind of like everything fit in, and then we got announced at that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So is it going to be like a mini series, like a certain,
the idea
story arc?
No, it's ongoing. It's the start of an ongoing one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
What is that?
Really important thing. Sorry.
Go.
So is it going to be like the traditional Lobo, or pretty much like the traditional Lobo? Is it going to be a new design, like a new interpretation on the character?
No, I think I already posted kind of like what my take on the character is going to be. It's on my
shit, I missed it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's on my Instagram. It's definitely like I had some room to bring a little bit of from my design, but I'm taking a lot from just the traditional Bisley, kind of days.
Oh, yeah. I can see. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going more in that direction than anything else.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Jamie, would you put that image up as Matteo is fawning over it? Because I suspect it is as awesome.
Jorge, does it tell you something that when you said you had shown the world your Lobo and Matteo hadn't even seen it?
No,
I know. Let you know
he was
the
working
algorithm,
on the SWAT Cats
guys.
campaign,
It's
so
not
he
my
was
fault.
distracted by that. Yeah. He kept reposting the SWAT Cats one, so I think he missed that
I've
one.
already made you rich with that campaign. Do I still have to watch your fucking Instagram page? Sorry.
Man,
Eric,
asked for
why
it.
do you hate this so much? We're having fun.
Are you asking me why I hate this so much?
yes.
Because he hates everything, so it's really easy.
Okay. All right.
It's because he sees us happy.
Yeah. When you guys are smiling, it kills me inside. I hope some. Maddie, go ahead. What you're saying?
No, I wanted to ask something that I've been meaning to ask since the beginning of the episode, and I wanted to go back to those two SWAT cats for a second. Was it? And it's a question for all of you guys. So was it? Because I never heard of SWAT cats. Was it a popular cartoon? No, we never had it in Italy. So I don't. Was it a popular TV show?
So, it came out. What was it? I think it was 93. I don't know. I was still back home in Venezuela when I saw it. So it might have been a couple years after it came out in the States. But it was, at least for me, it was one of those shows that you kind of watch as a kid and you like it just hooks you up. But like, you're also not understanding how scheduling or anything works. So it's only when you catch it on TV, you know you're going to watch it. And again, it was one of those that almost was like a weird memory that you weren't sure if it was real or not when you were a kid. Because, I think it only had 2 seasons. Since I've went back and learned a little bit more about the history, and it was caught up in this whole shift in Cartoon Network. So I think that's why it also went kind of under the radar for a lot of people. But it's kind of one of those cartoons like Pirates of Dark Waters that is also like, if you know it, you loved it, but like a lot of people didn't even know. So it was one of those. But the intro is one of those intros that people, put up there with some of the best intros of cartoons around that time. And it just had like a really cool visual style, especially for someone who grew up with the Ninja Turtles. You were chasing that rush of just anthropomorphic animals beating something. But I said what I said. But yeah, no. So I think SWAT Cats was one of those, and I remember as a kid, because one of the kind of like the I don't know if to call it a gimmick of the show, but it was one of the thing, kind of like a Batman gadget that, each episode or whatever, the SWAT Cats on the plane had different missiles that would, deconstruct and have different shapes or abilities or whatever. And I remember as a kid just like sketching my own version of like, oh, this missile could be this thing, and like this, it's kind of one of those that allows you to imagine what kind of toy you want from that. So again, it was that cartoon, and I've come to realize also that if you knew it, you love it, but like if you could have skipped it as easily because it wasn't around for that long. But you can see with the Kickstarter, there were people who were obsessed for the last 30 years. I think it had a previous Kickstarter a few years back about like an episode to try to make a pilot episode to revive it. It's been kind of, underneath it all trying to come back. So I was just very happy and glad that this one worked out the way it did. It was definitely a surprise in terms of like, we knew people wanted something from the property, but not that it was going to be like this big. But again, Matteo then came in and made it popular. So,
Well, there's floundering at at 300 something thousand. Matteo spoke up, and now it was $300,025. So he really put in a lot of the freaking heavy lifting. It's unfortunate that he took credit for the $300,000 part. You know. Can I give you some cultural context on at least the style of SWAT Cats from back in the day? By the way, for people who are paying attention and know better, please come in and correct me. But if you take a look at all the cartoons that were being produced, I didn't see it in Cartoon Network. I think I saw it on a more in a what do you call it, local affiliate.
Okay.
But I remember having it. It had a lot of like black, right?
Yes.
Like it was really stark, really super high contrasty. And I never considered it back in the day why they were making those decisions until you contrast it to what the biggest phenomenon back then, which was Batman the Animated Series, right? Which is like red sky, Art Deco, you know, super contrasty, super moody. And I think SWAT Cats in their opening, it was like red sky, you know, big contrasty white moon, you know, like, so you could see where they were like, oh, we know what works. And like, we know what works stylistically, at least in a way, in concept, but it was all out action almost every episode. There was always, and it wasn't even a toy component per se, but it was more, they understood the mission, which is like, come up with a cool jet plane, come up with a bunch of like missiles launching, come up with just like, you know, insane, you know, action art. I remember I was mentoring under a guy who was actually doing storyboard cleanup for that animated series at the time. That's so cool. Yeah. So I was seeing some of those boards, and I see them out of context all the time. You know, like there's so many shows that came across his desk that he wouldn't let me touch because I would just ruin them. You know, so he was at the front end of like cleaning up those storyboards, or at the very least helping out on like props and environments and all that. So when I saw that, and I would see the model pack, and this was a day and age of like photocopy of a photocopy or a photocopy of a fax. You know, so everything would have that grain. There's so much black on the model sheets. Like here is one complete side of a model or a character that's completely in shadow, you know?
Yeah, so I think... No.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go.
No. Because again, I got a bunch of, the original Bible for the show, and I got a bunch of scans or pictures of the backgrounds of the show. And yeah, you can really tell, like, again, the characters were definitely inked almost, it's a comic book character with the dark. That's right. With black placement and the dark shadows and stuff like that. But even the backgrounds also had this gritty texture to it. It's almost a lot of dry brush for shadows and stuff like that. It really has a texture of its own. And I can see what you're saying about the Batman the Animated Show, because even the color palette is it's very much not necessarily the same as that, but it is. Yeah, exactly. But it is very stylized in a way that skies are green or teal or whatever, but in a very stylized way that I think gave that show a personality that not a lot of shows had in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on a second, Jorge. I'm watching Shawn, and I'm gonna check up on him.
He's beautiful. I get it.
Because he's I don't know what it is. His energy is lower than typical. You know.
He's just holding it.
What is it? I'm serious. I'm not making fun of you. I'm checking in with you. Are you all right? It seems like you have something on your mind.
Zach's car is broken down, and we've been dealing with
that. Okay.
So, it's
all right. I feel bad. I thought it was because like the computer threw you off, and now we got to reschedule this conversation because I need you back. You know.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
All right, man.
I think he's lying. It's because Jorge doesn't use the brushes.
Yeah, he doesn't. We need him.
Okay, it's still the same
to
thing.
Talk to me.
I didn't want to have Jorge. I didn't want to have you on, but these guys insisted, so I'm just here holding up space.
I get it.
All right, it is this. I guess based on that, I'm the one that was advocating for you to come on.
Appreciate it.
They didn't. First of all, they didn't. One of us did not respect the idea that you were working with Scotty Young.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. The other doesn't respect me because I use
because you're not working with brushes.
Yeah. So thank you, Eric. At least someone is.
I said, hey, let's bring him on and talk about his career, his amazing upward trajectory. Let's not beat him up so much, you know.
And
you know
were
what else? Behind the scenes.
Yeah.
No. I think the capper, the thing that made them go like, fuck this guy, bring him on. Pardon my French. I rarely curse. But when they saw the Kickstarter and it was doing so ridiculously successfully, they would be like, oh my God, this fucking guy. I'm circling the calendar date right now from where he shows up. I'm like, guys, that's my job to beat up on the guests. And I'm the one red lights and all. I'm like, everybody calm down. We don't have to bring him on and beat him up at the same time. We can beat him up individually. Okay, can I ask you, Shawn? This is to you as well. I mean, in the time that you were, still kind of in the mix in as far as comics are concerned, but potentially even, applicable now. It seems like with Matteo, Jorge, you, me, like there's these things that we put on our radar. My wife said this the other day. She asked, and I think you guys can understand the spirit of this. She is like, "Oh, you're drawing Batman. Is that something that you've always wanted to draw?" And what a weird thing to say, like, because I've never thought about it. What? I just went from assignment to assignment and just kind of in that grind of like, what's next? What's available to me?
Are you saying you didn't have like certain books that you aspired to?
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking to our entire group. Mm-hmm. Were there books on your, like, dude, if I can freaking draw that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, go, Shawn. You said absolutely with
Batman
a fervor. Go ahead.
X-Men. Batman and
X-Men. Oh. You got to draw Batman. Yeah. You're all done.
And I got to do some X-Men stuff. So I'm good. I'm out.
Yeah, I've never thought about it.
Really?
That's not true. Doubt. I don't believe
X-Men. X-Men is the only one, but that's because but at some point I died inside and I don't care about X-Men. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like it never continued to be on my thing. Yeah. But I suspect in the trajectory that is your career, Matty, same with you? Was there something?
Same with me. Like, well, for me, it was Batman, but that was, I checked that out of the list years ago. So I'm good on that side. Yeah. And I worked on Batman various times. So it's, I scratched the itch, if you will. Yeah. Lobo would be another one. Like, Lobo is a dream character for mine.
This is why he's pissed. This is why he's pissed.
You know what I can do?
Sorry.
Just give a call to Scotty, make peace with him.
What's that?
And tell him, I could do, I make peace with Scotty, and I'm like, I could do Lobo instead of Jorge.
Oh my God! Okay,
listen, Jorge, don't do that. He's much too busy.
Scotty,
he's much too busy with this podcast.
And Scotty will say,
Scotty
Young
I got
a message for Scotty. Here's my message for Scotty. If you want to, Lobo's going to be a hit. We know this. But if you want to make Lobo the biggest hit of all time, you do alternating arcs between Matteo and Jorge, and they're going to try to one-up each other so much with each arc.
This book just got announced at New York Comic Con, and we're already trying to scuttle this guy's trajectory on this book by putting Matteo on it.
No, I feel okay about it.
No, don't, dude. Don't listen. Do not encourage him.
Sorry, I'm gonna finish my answer. I was just joking.
Yeah, go.
Another character would be Tank Girl. I would love to do Tank Girl.
Yeah.
Although there's a thing which is I never was, and I wouldn't have any problem working on Lobo if, like, let's say 5 years from now they asked me to draw it. It'd be amazing. Instead, with Tank Girl, the problem would be that I was never into that, British punk culture. So I don't know about the culture, and Tank Girl belongs to that kind of culture. So I would kind of feel like a fraud, having, starting to work on it, because I'm not that, I just love the character and love the every Tank Girl book. But I wanted to go back to Jorge. So I wanted to ask, so do you already know when issue number 1 of your Lobo is coming out?
I think we're aiming for March or April. I think it's March. Awesome. And I just wanted to take a second to announce that also in 2027, I'm the new artist for the Tank Girl book. So thank you for that segue. It actually worked out really well.
He actually declined it, and now that he knows that you want it, he's like, you know what?
Jorge.
But they're gonna keep it vacant for you. So even if I apply for it, they're like, no, we promise Jorge.
No, hold on.
You know,
They're not
yeah.
making any
Jorge's
more Tango
better, so.
comics until Jorge is available.
Matteo,
So that
do you,
he can
do you see what Eric's
2027.
doing here? Eric wanted to get Jorge on because ultimately he wants to replace you with Jorge on the podcast.
Oh no,
That's not true. That's 0% true. How much less fun would it be
I mean,
if Matteo
Jorge, it
wasn't
depends.
here?
How racist are you?
oh,
That's at the end of the day. That's
on
the
camera? Shit.
Don't say anymore. That's the best answer of all time.
Yeah. Keep it just like that.
You
Was
know,
this-
this might be my second turning point.
You were doing so well. Congratulations, pal. But you're out of here. You know?
Jorge, Mateo's trying to like throw the kibosh on you. He wants to get you fired off of Lobo so he can come in and get the book.
Well, he's already made two. You know, he didn't. It wasn't even subtle. It was like, "Hey, Scotty, call me up. This guy's not going to work." And then I'll make peace with Scotty so I can blah blah blah. Oh boy.
So Jorge, so Lobo's gonna be like your thing over. Like I suppose you don't have. You said it's gonna be an ongoing, so you don't have a an end line for that right now. But that's gonna be your life potentially,
yeah.
for
That's
the next
that.
3-4 years, whatever. Right?
We'll see, but yeah, that's the plan. The plan is to launch this new book, and then I think we're just in it until till they want us there. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the first time that you're, because all the other stuff that you've done at a sort of ending somehow? So is that the first time when you start something and the plan is potentially to not to for it to never end?
Yeah, I mean, again, but yeah, that's kind of how I don't know. So this is the weird thing, and again, I don't know if it's just my kind of way of approaching the industry, but I never count on anything being like, oh, this is my life for X amount of time. So it's a lot of like, this is my next step, and I'll be here until it makes sense and everything is working. Technically, like I did Batgirls back in the day, and that was kind of ongoing until I was like, oh, I need to jump into a different project. I did Transformers, and Transformers was kind of like the same thing. I was like, well, I think I'm going to be here for a volume, and then they were like, no, please stay. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is looking like work for longer than this. So so Lobo is the same. The way we're approaching it is like, we're gonna be here for a while until we can. Again, the plan. The fun thing about this character, and this is something that Scotty Young, if you know.
You've heard of him, Maddie.
You've heard about. What we've been talking about is just like, we want to have fun with the character. We want to have, bring back a little bit of that energy of those early Griffith Bisley books and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So we're just kind of having fun. So it's not the way we're planning it, and I think it's okay. The way we're planning is we're not planning on doing this macro kind of narrative because in our heads the book makes sense more in kind of like those big showy short stories. So I think that's kind of how we're planning to approach the book. It's like short story after short story after short story.
Yeah.
And we have ideas for at least that this first year, and hopefully we just keep going. But I don't know. I feel like I've run into this issue a couple times when I'm like, well, that was the project, and everyone is like, no. It's like, we can keep going. Counted chickens and all that.
Yeah. I think it's your overall demeanor and your attitude and an outlook, potentially informed by your experience, that allow you to sidestep the trap that Matteo just set in front of you. Let me recap what he just did. He goes, Jorge, look, can I ask you? This is the biggest thing and longest running thing you've ever done, right? It's so big. You've never been on a project this big before, right?
So
in
you
so
got
many
that
words.
Too. Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
In
cool.
so many words, is like, are you ready for this? Do you think that is there a failure component embedded into your, like, this may fail for you? And I was like, holy shit, the kid just freaking started. And then the second one was, so like, are you, in so many words, are you ready for this? Like, can you even do Lobo as good as the previous guys who have done it? That was earlier. He was like, oh, you mean like Lobo from the good version of it from way back in the day that I remember? Yeah. Is it going to be that good, in so many words? And I was like, holy cow.
And the other thing, no, that wasn't the tone at all.
No,
the problem is that, like, as you all know, sorry, Jorge, just make it quick.
I don't want to put words in your mouth. Yeah.
The thing is, you all know that Lobo, there was a time in which they redesigned the character. And people hated it. So I wanted to make sure that we're going back
I wasn't
to
going to be shown
that concept.
Lobo, no.
See, that's what I heard too. Is like, don't F it up like the other people.
No. What I also heard was like, how long is your contract and when can I come in? It's also the other part. It's like,
that's the third one. I missed that one.
Part of it. It was
I was
like,
so overwhelmed.
How far into this are you signed up for? So I can, finish the forefather before that. Okay. Sweating.
Listen, man, you are the guest. Don't worry about me being an idiot and these bozos riding along with me. Thank you. Always thank you for being here.
No, absolutely.
All right, what are we talking about? There's the Kickstarter that we've kind of covered. We haven't really gone into. We talked about the version of your career that sort of got you into this place, but was there in Savannah to now, right? I know this is going to sound really broad and really basic for people, but in your education of like becoming a comic book professional, was there something that you could say to yourself, man, if I knew this ahead of time, I'd be a year ahead. I'd be 2 years ahead. Here's an example. Like overall, for me, it was overall professionalism.
Okay.
Right. Just like conduct yourself like a professional. If you're late, just tell people that you're going to be late.
Yeah.
Don't bury your head in the sand. Don't disappear. Don't ghost editors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just things like that go a long way for people's overall conduct. And those are soft skills that people don't seem to pick up. Like we end up talking about craft stuff here a lot, but sometimes it's conduct that could use a bit of like insight. Anything like that for you?
Man, I don't know.
Maddie, Shawn, that's open to you guys too. You know, like
if you guys have any,
I've got no career advice because don't follow my path. My advice is don't do what I did. That's my advice.
Oh, weird. No, that's unfair, Shawn. Right? Because yours is a version that took a lot of heavy lifting on your end, right? Like, there was you ran into as many walls as I've come. I'm watching you. There are times when I'm watching you and I'm like, holy crap, that guy is struggling, but he's enduring, which is admirable, right? I'm like, holy crap, that's so amazing.
It's a compliment and an insult at the same time.
Yeah. But also there's versions where I'm like, you're struggling and you don't need to. Stop being an idiot. You know what I mean? Like quit running into walls on purpose. Right. But there's got to be things in there where you're like, dude, if I had just known this would be so much easier for me.
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know.
I was always very professional. I was always very communicative. Met my deadlines. Never ghosted editors. Never did any of that. I guess I wish I couldn't have done it, but I wish I could have stepped out and done the creator-owned stuff I wanted to do. I couldn't afford to do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
If I knew, I wouldn't. I don't know.
I mean, would you say generally like divesting, like basically instead of like putting all the proverbial eggs in a basket, it'd be great to kind of have.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good one. So the thing I wouldn't do is invest so much in the publishers and their in terms of work, like just seeing them as the only avenue, and putting all my eggs into that. Yes, that's something I would advise against.
something from you, Maddie? Anything?
Not really. I feel that my whole thing since I started studying to be a comic book artist, to the day I became a comic book artist to today, I felt that everything felt pretty natural. Even though I didn't start working immediately, like right after school. Like I had a few years where I was doing something else, and I didn't even know if I was gonna make it. You know, I didn't even know if I was gonna become a comic book artist. But in retrospect, I feel that everything that had to happen happened in order for me to be here. You know, so
yeah.
I mean,
so your big advice is
just kind of things, but also
perfect.
That's not the way I. No, but it's also that I don't reason that way in general. Like I don't look back at stuff. I don't have the tendency of doing that. So as a consequence, I don't have that second thought of, oh, I wish I knew this before. You know, it's fine that I didn't know. And it's great that now I know, and that's cool. You know, I don't think back at stuff.
And I mean, and to get to everything Eric said, all of those walls I hit have all taught me a lot and have got me where I am now. And I like where I am now.
Yeah, exactly.
I like where I'm heading. As long as I don't kick the bucket before I get there, I'm good.
Jesus Christ!
It gets dark quick. We go back to Shawn 2009 very, very quickly on this show.
No, but I think you're right. I think because you're consistently learning. I mean, this is an industry that is not structured in a very clear, path. It's like these are the things that you do and you progress like this is a ladder. You kind of just experiment here and there and see what works, see what doesn't, and learn from it and go to the next one. I think, mistakes, there's probably many that we're always going to make, but all you have to do is kind of, learn and figure out what your voice and your place is going to be as you move forward. Because if I feel like if you keep thinking of like that was the moment I lost my chance, I think that could be a little bit more, a little bit too, pessimistic or defeating. So I think it's more what I've learned is that even the mistakes you need to just figure out what those were to for the next project to not make them again, basically. But yeah, no. So I think I'm in the same boat, which I don't think there's a pinpoint, or it hasn't happened yet. And then call me in 5 years and I'll tell you, it's like, it was that podcast. It was that episode. And
I guarantee you right now.
That was
podcast.
the moment.
That was the moment. Yeah. Looking back,
here's what I
never said yes.
By the way, can I say, as we're talking about it, there's a moment that I think I've described here on the podcast in the past. But this is to prove that I tend not to, ruminate on stuff. So basically, I've been constantly working over the past few years. I've been constantly working with Mark Millar, but the first time he asked me to work with him was when I was working on Black Science, and I told him, "Yeah, let's work together." He hadn't sold to Netflix yet. I was like, "Yeah, let's work together." And then when the time was coming, I decided, you know what, let's finish Black Science. I have another like 15, 20 issues of Black Science. I don't remember, probably 10 issues, 15. And I told him, you know what, let's wait, Mark, until I finish Black Science, and then we work on something together. And in that year and a half, he sold everything to Netflix. So if I had worked with him back then, I would be, I would have gotten the money from Netflix, from the deal. And instead, I didn't. So, that's a lot of money on the table
that's a lot of money.
That I didn't get. And but it was never like after that, it was never like a lesson like, oh, I should have done like, well, yeah, I should have, but it wasn't, it wasn't a stupid decision.
No,
the one that I took.
In the moment. Yeah.
It was based on a specific thing, and I think I did right. And then, the chances, what happened was that in the meantime, Mark sold everything to Netflix, but that's not something that I could know. So,
Yeah. And if things continue to be the way they are, we're all working for Netflix eventually. So like this is just gonna be absolutely. So like this is it just took more years for you to end up having everything sold to Netflix.
Yeah.
All right, so I got a question. I want to hear Jorge, your thoughts on working on a creator-owned book versus work for hire. But if you, the audience, want to hear the answer, it'll be on our Patreon episode. So head on over to Patreon, subscribe, and you can be a part of that conversation too. And before we sign out, Jorge, is there anything you want to promote?
Keep an eye out for Lobo next year. It's going to be way better than if Matteo would have drawn it. And
that's the promo.
That's
Jamie,
the promo.
That's the promo.
And Tank Girl soon enough. Soon after.
I think it's going to be the official logo for DC as well. I think they're going to use it.
But I mean, thank you for having me. For everyone that's here until now.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Matteo.
Awesome, man.
Matteo,
it was great having
buddy.
you, man. Thanks a lot for joining us.
I can see it. I can see the end coming. Good lungs. I don't know why that would be embarrassing. I don't know.
The Inkpulp Podcast.